Hi, YouTube, man. We back again, man. I've got one and only one of West Side Finest, Kowacie Reeves in the building. Now, we got a lot to talk about today, man. So I'm gonna sit here and let Kowacie Reeves introduce himself.
What's up, y'all? Kowacie Reeves, and I'm here today to just have a conversation and talk.
Moves it for Reeves. Reeves attacks. Oh! On his head! Look at the scoop by Kowacie Reeves on the other end.
What brought you into basketball? Let me start off with that question, Kowacie.
I'll say basketball always been a part of me, like from a young age. Like it's kind of same old cliche story, Got introduced to it. I didn't really know how far it can take me in this world, as far as socially and economically. I didn't know nothing about that. Kind of started off as innocent game, just liking it, watching it, and then it turned into what you see now.
I know you playing football when you live with your cousin, man. What tell me why you chose basketball over football?
You use the same reason, man. It was a lot of contact. It was a lot of contact, and yeah, after that, all that contact, man. I ain't really want to continue doing that not much longer. And then also basketball was starting to become more fun too.
Okay, good. Now we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We see that you came out with your book June 22nd of this year, so congratulations on that, man.
Appreciate it.
Tell me a little about your book. What motivated you to do this book?
Well, I kind of I've been had this idea, man. I've been had the manuscript, the content that's in the book. However, I feel like the stuff that I discuss in the book, I kind of suppress that area of myself because of sports and what most people know me for. But I feel like I find when I went to study abroad this summer in Spain, I really found uh, I really found that area of myself and found my true purpose in life, and I really just tapped into that. So that would make me want to just go ahead and go through with it and put out some of my thoughts to the world and connect with people in that way.
Okay. And you did mention that you was coming out with a second book. When is this second book supposed to air out to the world?
Yeah, so the first one is kind of like a debut introduction to the depth of, I guess, Kowacie Reeves and what I believe in and who I want to connect with. The second book is go come out sometime around my birthday in January of next year, and yeah, it's gonna be aimed towards the target. If it's for everyone, the target audience is probably gonna be women though, and specifically women in my community, and just trying to empower them and not criticize too much and judge, but give them an outlet to see what their true identity is, and just I'm trying to encourage people to not revert back to traditional norms, but take pieces of healthy healthy lifestyles and and try to implement them in their life, because I feel like right now we have a lot of degeneracy and just a lot of stuff that I seem honestly as foolish, and I feel like it's the socialization of us as a people, not just woman's fault, men's fault. We have to look at the larger social construct of how we behave and the things that make us behave that way.
Okay. And when you say make people connect back to their original norm, do you think your book will motivate us as a whole, as an individual, back to our original culture and to adapt back to how it was before?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the intent behind it. However, I know that with uh, as time evolves, people evolve, mindsets evolve, some stuff become new, and in this era we have norms that may have been different from eras of the past. However, in analyzing and observing eras of the past, I've seen more stability, honestly, and more unity amongst uh, family in our community and healthy family. Everything is not perfect, obviously from an individual perspective, but as a majority, I feel that we are deteriorating as far as love and compassion for one another and understanding, and we're weeding that out and substituting it for this narcissistic social media superficial uh, thing that we are so engaged in right now.
Okay. All right, so I see that you worked on a project recently. You're giving food back to the homeless, and I applaud you for that, man. Because a lot of work for people in this world, and you acknowledge that they're still human. Explain to me what made you, want to give back to the homeless and to let the homeless know that we all still human and we all still have something to live for.
Yeah, man. So for me, I always view that concept as just I feel like unnatural. I couldn't fathom the fact that people have $1 billion, $1 million, one person in assets and in finances and resources, and then you have people that don't have somewhere to stay and don't have food. So uh, I really conducted that just to get the true stories of those people and look into the depths of the harshness of uh of homelessness and just the harshness of our society and you know use that as kind of a call to action. Like we have, man, we have so many resources, especially here in Atlanta, and it's one of the most progressive cities, one of the most migrated to cities, like where people are coming to right now. But also homelessness is like absurd here. So I was kind of saddened by that, seeing riding past right here outside of my apartment complex, homeless shelter, seeing women out there with 4 and 5 children, like they didn't have to be born in that situation. And I just have a deep sympathy for and humanity, and seeing everyone have a decent quality of life. You know, it just has to be some type of change as far as the distribution of resources and wealth. And I feel like the power has always been in the people, but we kind of get scared, pressed so much to where we feel like we just need to stay stagnant, and we get sold illusion of individualism. That's what I labeled the write-up I did on it. Exploitation, masses, individualism, and homelessness, because we think that if I'm straight, I'm straight. My church is straight, I'm straight. But that's not our culture as a people. If you look back, our culture is community. So if they over there doing bad, we go see why they doing bad and get them some help, whether that be psychologically, mentally, economically, whatever they need. That's where we come from, a culture of help and collaboration. And now I think we've been put in a society that preaches competition, even to our detriment, which is very unhealthy now, I believe. So the whole drive, it really wasn't even about giving back the food. It really was about getting just a candid view of the realities of homelessness and seeing how now I can organize people and my peers or whoever to attack that and try to get people empowered and back into society if they want it.
Now, I did watch the video you made when you made your giving back to the community video, and you said one interesting quote that caught my attention. It said that even though there may have been a knucklehead, we all make decisions in our lives, and it's the way that we all get back on track when we make a bad decision or being a knucklehead in life. We all they probably did drugs or something of that nature. Explain to me what made you, say that in the video, because it really caught my attention when you said that. Because, we all made bad decisions growing up, and we all did something that we regret doing that made us get in a bad predicament in life and get placed in a bad predicament in life. So just explain to me what made you say that and what your thoughts and feelings on that particular topic.
Yeah, that goes back to the concept that I was just speaking about uh, the illusion of individualism. So we get sold. Uh, if you work hard, you get this. Well, now being seeing supremacy and and racism at firsthand. I've got to see that it's not about hatred with that. It's a more about it's not I hate you because of color or this that. It's more about control. I've noticed. It's more about how do I mass control people so where I don't have to reach my hand out to this one individual or another. I can grab his whole community at one time and keep them down, lowered. And we have been sold that illusion though that it's us. It's just strictly you. Life is definitely free will. We in one of the most uh one of the best times of free will, but also you have to look at systems that are in place to limit you as far as your freedom. And I feel that that's where I was coming from with that quote. I feel like we can't always just say, man, yeah, man, it was man, I did this and that and that. Well, let's look at if you went to jail and got a felony when you got out. Let's look at your opportunities when you got out. Not excuses, but let's just look at it holistically and look at it from a view of structure. The structure says you go to jail, you probably will never make a livable wage again. If you do make a livable wage, uh, you're gonna be a rare percentage. Even if you don't, I mean, even if you if if not, if you might even go back to jail, you know. So I would say that we have to stop using the individual perspective and look at it more as a community. Like for instance, I know uh you have good entrepreneur skills. So right now you could buy two properties and have just hypothetically speaking, you could have 20,000 coming in a month revenue and the bank can see it and your credit score is high. It can be 700 and some change, right? But the minute you go to the bank for a loan, most likely you're not gonna get one. Dad, we have to look at that. Why is that? But if you went to the bank for a loan for a car, or you went to go get student loan, you have to look at why they will be willing to give you that and not one for your business. I would say we we are not dumb. We kind of know. I mean, I feel like the economic empowerment of a people, along with the social empowerment of a people, uh, starts to raise eyebrows amongst people and cause them, I feel like, to unify and be even more strong-willed and keep their community intact and healthy the best way they can. I feel like right now, mass poverty is equating to violence and degeneracy, as I spoke to earlier. So what is pushed to us through our media is entertainment and athletics. You rarely see doctors living in your neighborhood now, lawyers, engineers, works of the trade. What you're gonna see is, the dope dealer guy doing illegal stuff and getting a lot of money, or you're gonna see the entertainer athlete. And no problem with that because obviously I'm one and I kind of am, you know, give or take stuck in this cycle, for the various reasons that I just spoke of. Like, I mean, you have to kind of feed into capitalism a little bit and to navigate it. I feel like it's what you do with it. See, with me, I have a strategic plan and I'm following now. Uh, but going back to what I was just talking about, we have to start building communities to feel safe and building them to have examples of other alternatives, careers, so that people can feel empowered. So that young boy that's in his driveway shooting the ball only sees the basketball star, football star, and the dope dealer. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. And I think that that's a very dangerous cycle. That's very much correlated with the violence that we see. And the same with the women, because I feel that as much as men love to criticize the women of our age, for the majority of women still want men, right? We have other groups and stuff like that, which is all bound to a more choice is yours as far as what you are into. But I feel like men create beauty standards, men create uh norms for women, and they're the majority. That's why I say we have to stop looking individual as an individual, because that's how people try to flip arguments and flip narratives by saying, "Well, I didn't come from that. Or I had a," or they would say, to my last comment, I saw my neighbor was a lawyer. My the lady across the street was a doctor from me, the black lady across the street, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm looking from a holistic view. So you might grew up in the hood and seen a lady that was a doctor that stayed in her community, but I'm talking about the 500 other hoods in the world. They're not seeing that. So, uh, yeah, I just feel that we have to get away from this individualistic thinking and look more into a community. Look more into a community.
Okay. Good. I really appreciate you for going through that for me because it actually touched me when I watched that video. I really thought that was interesting. And just think about, let's take a step into politics in today's world. You know, there's a lot been going on with Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump, and a little situation where Joe Biden stepped down from president. What do you think configured him to step down and to bring a woman into the White House to fulfill those shoes as president? You know, she would be, if she win the election, she would be the first woman to ever be president of the United States. So, how do you feel about those politics and give me your thought on that?
Yeah, for me, well, I view politics in this country. For me, I would say my perspective is kind of skewed, but it's a good kind of skewed. I view it as, uh, what problems are they fulfilling for people that look like me? That's just how I am, and nobody gonna change that. So both sides I have my gripe with, because I feel like we are in this whole society of where we are being ignored. That's why my books are trying to encourage my brothers and sisters all across that look like me to unite and just maybe just we don't have to go back to older eras, but look at the mentalities and mindsets of some of our elders and ancestors of just how they maneuvered and navigated their society, and I think we could learn a lot about how stagnant I feel like in politically and socially lazy we are right now as a people. I feel like with this current election, funny, my mom just called me talking about she registered me to vote, which I'll probably go vote. But I feel like if we're looking at policies and issues and stuff like that, man, it's a bit overwhelming, honestly, just to see the trajectory our uh, of our society, man. Uh, like what she just raised like what $100 million in 24 hours for Kamala Harris campaign, and like I said, we still got mass poverty, man. Mass poverty in every like the project you said I just held. Every community that I went to was majority of the people in there look just like me, and that's sad, man. That's real sad. So I feel like, man, I just pray one day we'll have a president that with some courage, that get in there and say, we built an economy, a system, an infrastructure, a nation on the backside of free labor. It's time that we try to just touch the surface of righting those wrongs by, um, giving back, helping, empowering, and not leading with control in mindset. I feel like everything's about control. That's why we invade other countries. That's why we spy on other countries. That's why other countries spy on us, because everyone wants to control the distribution of resources and wealth. So that's why we will get sold symbols of freedom. That's why you could have Oprah Winfrey, and they gonna say, well, Tyler Perry or LeBron James, and they gonna name well, maybe the list go stop. The list go stop very fast. Maybe get to 100, maybe. But I'm like, we got millions of billions of people who are the majority that are suffering at the hands of something that can be fixed, and we know how to fix it. However, I feel that that's why I'm getting deep into my literary, I would say getting deep into my literary aspect of myself right now and really diving into that because I feel like that's where we can change by taking information, learning from each other, and doing an action, enacting. And because there's loopholes in mass control. Mass control has a lot of loopholes. And as a community, we can exploit some of those loopholes and do them in a healthy manner because our culture, our base culture, like I said, is more collaborative at the heart. And if we can get back to that, I see a lot of restoration of love, restoration of economic empowerment, restoration of internal battles that we uh, that we have amongst ourselves and our communities, and maybe we see a leader that comes that is truly, truly for the people and truly, truly for the bettering of a people that's been so oppressed. So, with all of this, I feel like with all this presidential election uproar, that honestly I don't really see no good in it. Honestly, it's more superficial. Honestly, for me, it's more of a parade, a show, entertainment. Um, Whoever gets in office, quite honestly, is not gonna tackle any real black issues. And if they do, I would tip my hat to them. But if you look at history, that's not favorable. That's not important to them. And until that becomes important, until we demand respect, until we are uh, truly integrated into the society, not assimilated. I feel like we mixing those two. We want to feel good. We want to be standing next to, you know, the oppressor. We want to uh, laugh and kick it with them and jive with them. But that's not true integration. True integration is that the oppressor recognizes that you're a human being, and also you have the power to face the oppressors to where there's no oppression anymore. There's true equality. So both of y'all are one and the same now. And I just don't see us getting that with either candidate, honestly. And when you look at the policies and the ins and outs, I'm very pessimistic about this election, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. And like you said, Kamala Harris, she raised multiple millions of dollars in 24 hours. How do you feel since the black community, they've been struggling, there have been multiple homicides and things of that nature, just like how Kamala Harris raised multiple millions in 24 hours, how could the black community raise that money to help people get back on their feet and open shelters and homeless stations and places for people to live, just like she raised that type of money in 24 hours? Do you think the black community need that type of support to be raised that type of money to help fund our community?
Yeah, good question, man. I feel that as a solution, we need to build a community of independent institutions. Because when you look at society, we learn this in sociology. Uh, the relationship with institutions is key, and who controls institutions is key to social order and structure. So, who owns the bank that you put your money in? Who owns uh, the school you attend? Who owns your food distribution? Uh, those are key, and it's only right now. I feel that in my area, it's only one scholar, that has presented this rhetoric, this solution, and that's I feel is the best solution, because that has so much power economically that we started to do for ourselves. We were not worried about get somebody giving us a job because we're going to our brother, our sister. Uh, when we let's just say we get blessed with millions, so we figure out how to get our business booming. We're not going and put it in the bank that they don't care about you. We want to put it in the bank of our brothers and sisters. And let's just say the example I used earlier, you got that screaming income coming in a month with a high credit score. You can go to your brother bank now and get your business loan and get you a loan that no question asked. You have the proof in the pudding. You got a good credit score. Go get your loan, start your business. You go pay us back. You have proof. We won't have. We will be able to navigate inside systemic obstacles and go inside 'em and then come back out with us being empowered, with us being, having control of our own destiny. And I feel like that's what uh, oppression is afraid of. So yeah, I feel that independent institution building is the number one solution. You know, hats off to one of they're probably the greatest scholar of this generation. If you know, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, good, good. All right, let's get a deep dive into this organization you just opened, man. Congratulations to that opening you're doing organization and your ACI. Tell us about the organization you just opened and give us a background and the meaning behind it.
Yeah, so the ACI stands for the Afro Club for Consciousness and Intellect. Uh, a lot of it started from my desire to internally change the mentality or view of my brother and my sister. Um, show them that we are being distracted, we are being exploited, and we do not have to prove anything to anyone or tell anyone what they're doing to us. We need to recognize what's being done to us and then get together and find tangible solutions that we can actually reach and feel and that everyone can thrive out of. And yeah, so with my like for instance, police genocide unacceptable and it's getting normalized. Somebody kill a little black person right now on the street, be on the news 1 or 2 days until the next one happens, which might be the next day. And that is very sad. But I feel like with this organization, we can start to find tangible solutions to problems like this, like many of our ancestors did. That's why I say I think we should study. One must study to become liberated internally. We have to bring back unity because that's where we come from. And I want to start this organization because I truly believe we can reach that goal. A lot of us have given up hope and say, man, we gonna never be together. We're never gonna be organized. We're never gonna unify because we have a deep self-hatred and a deep uh, inferiority complex to where we want to be assimilated and have a relationship with a power structure that has oppressed us for years and years and years. But I say no, we can definitely unite because we have multiple examples of this. And my work now is striving to do that at all costs, probably to my last day on this earth. So that's why I'm at with my organization. Anybody want to join, them open. You just have to have an open mind, and you gotta want to uh, be liberated. You gotta want to learn. Like me, I want to learn. I want people that's smarter than me, that's more well versed than me on multiple topics in my organization because that's how you stay sharp. That's how you get multiple solutions, and that's how you defeat this narcissistic complex that we have through this social media age and everybody feeling like they're a celebrity and that whole concept of celebrity is a farce. Uh, we that's not a real concept. I feel that while celebrities and people that are public figures, they are well received and they are brilliant. A lot of them. Uh, I feel that they are mere chess pieces in a system that's still exploiting them and the people that they are singing to, shooting for, running for, making laugh. So that's why I'm at with my organization. We're gonna be talking about stuff like that in there. Obviously giving back but really searching for tangible solutions and building a organization that has a bunch of progression and love, unity, and a lot of the rhetoric that I've been speaking about this entire time.
And I heard you touch on the based on the police situation in today's era. Let's take a brief dive into the news that been happening lately. It was these two cops that that was called by the African lady, the black lady, that she was come to find out she was mentally ill. She was on medicine for her condition. So what happened was they ended up shooting her in the head over something that they called that she was throwing hot water on the way. Come to find out once you watch the reel, which I'm going to implement in the video, that she didn't actually throw any water on them. They shot at her because she brought gun into the situation and she thought that the lady was crazy. So I know that you have seen and watched the video. Give me your breakdown and your perspective on that situation.
Yeah, I've definitely seen. I watched it a couple times, and man, the dehumanization is like disheartening, man. At this point, how many examples are we going to have before we are able to unite and organize consciously? That's why another reason my organization is the Afro Club for Consciousness, because we can riot, we can loot, we can go tear a city down. However, what's the after effect of that? That's that's coming from the great Stokely Carmichael Kwame Ture. He spoke those same words as far as unconscious rebellion. Just think about what happened during the George Floyd, the riots and the looting. That was an unconscious decision to say we tired. This is what we gonna do. We gonna tear y'all city down because y'all don't want to listen to us and y'all are dehumanizing us again. And that was unconscious. And there had to be motion just like that. Had to be movement, legislation. They had to do something about it. So think about if we organize and consciously do that. Oh, but as far as that situation, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a walking man soon on this back into society. That's our culture right now, which is very unacceptable. However, that's what I feel like should be motivation to us to completely organize so well that stuff like that is prevented. Like people say vote and like voting and there's many ways to tackle it, but we so disorganized because I feel our culture is the narcissism. Everyone wants to be the head. And what I'm saying is we are not here. This is not the structure of us. That's not us. We always been here as a people. Me and you, me and you, not me against you. So that's what we got to get back to, man. So uh, next time something happen like this, we may have a world we living in where she wouldn't even had to call the police. She could have called a neighbor. She could have called somebody. That's what I mean by community. Let's say let's just say, I know she does have family that's in her life, but let's just say she did and she was mentally ill, maybe having an episode and take her medicine. That's where we have community. Somebody recognize that. Somebody go in there and check on her. Hey, Miss, I think her name's Sonia. Hey, Miss Sonia, you doing all right today? And if they realize she having an episode, then let's call her dad. Let's call her son, whoever is around. Yeah, or like even when someone is getting harassed by police. We need to have people organized to not be recording with your phone, observing and Man, we used to have. It was a time where we used to show up and show out, man, in situations like this. And I think we have to get back to those times because if not, we are normalizing genocide, and that is sickening. That is unacceptable, and that's another reason why I believe uh, the presidential candidates uh, won't be doing anything for the community that we live in.
Okay, so that was a very interesting situation that happened there. It had blown up all over social media, and once you take a deep dive into it, she was actually ill. And I just feel like that situation needed to be evaluated even more from the outside perspective, to see what their thoughts is on it. Let's take a look at your this season. Y'all coming up. Y'all did pretty good last year. Y'all made it pretty far. What are you taking from last season? They're gonna take you further this upcoming season. I know y'all have a big schedule, busy schedule coming up. You've been balling, man. I've been watching. Congratulations on that. And just tell me how you're feeling from last season, and what type of experience that you gained and knowledge from the older guy that you're going to start a lineup now, and you're trying to win that national championship, man. So just let me know what your thoughts on this upcoming basketball season with you and your team.
Yeah, I would say even my perspective in basketball has changed. It's more of a work perspective and a more gratitude perspective. Realizing that, it is people out here homeless, it's people in my community that I should be serving. However, I am engaging in something for monetary gain, but realizing it serves a purpose. So where I'm at is not my seat at the table. It is all the people before me seat at the table, and it's not to get it and use my uh, identity as a player or and the benefits I serve as a player socially and economically as leisure. Um, yeah, for the season, I mean, like I said, I look at it as more of a work perspective now. So I'm helping the guys we just got in, watching film, sending them film, figuring out how I can do my job to the best of my abilities so I can squeeze every bit of what I can get out of this sport out of it. As far as all the LeBron James and Michael Jordan storylines and fantasies, that we want to subscribe to, I really view those as like, whatever. Now I view myself more as do your job, which is try to win games because the sport that you are engaged in is a part of the same power structure that you dislike, and it's a part of capitalism. So win games equal more money for the people that uh know you and around this institution. More money means more fans and everybody happy in capitalism. So that's what I'm focused on to try to win games. Whatever that take, win games equals, you know, ways she can figure out how to help more people in the real battle, So that's where I'm at with that, working on the game, still like basketball, still all of that, I'm still the same way see as far as, how I play all that stuff, but as far as my perspective of the game, it's changed a little bit. And I don't think and I'm not sorry for it, I ain't worried about what nobody think about it. I'm living my life like I told you when I had my I've been had this kind of epiphany or eye open moment. I just suppressed it for so long. Now I'm living in it and being unapologetic in it and not caring, and being fearless and not caring. So that's why I'm at with basketball right now.
I was scrolling through social media a couple days ago. I actually reached out to you personally, and I asked you a question, and you answered it. I want to take a dive into it so the word you understand the type of person, the type of character you show. It was this post on Facebook was trying to compare you to these different players coming out of Westside High School. We know Westside High School have a history of athletes, football, basketball, even track. lots of athletes have went to big schools and even made it to the NFL, the NBA, and things of that nature. And I seen they were trying to compare you to these different players and trying to see, oh, he's better than this person and that person. And I know you as a person, and I just know that you're not that type of guy who just say, oh, he's better than him, or I'm better than him, or this guy, or that guy. Tell me how you feel on that situation.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had people I hadn't talked to since I graduated high school, informing me about that situation, and I know my dad probably seen it because he be in those circles of seeing that type of stuff. But I think with me, like I just explained, I'm looking at basketball differently, and I think from my spiritual, for my spiritual wellness, and from my spiritual perspective, I'm viewing basketball as something that man made, bro. Something that when you're in that casket, when I'm in that casket, I'm not going to uh I don't want people to remember me for that, but that's not gonna be a priority for me when I'm in that casket. When I'm in that casket and gone, I'm gonna want people to say, man, he helped change us. He helped progress us in socially. He helped us not feel inferior to other people and feel like we have to, uh, be assimilated with other people. He made us feel like we could be around each other and not, engage in violence. We could love each other and it's okay. We could, we don't have to steal from each other. Bringing back a sense of racial and community pride and honor as the, one before me fought so hard to do. So as far as basketball go, um, yeah, I don't look at it that way. Um, yeah, the he's better than, yeah, like you said, the he's better than this. What I look at it as, whoever came before me, they better. So I know on West Side they say what G Fitch and K1. I got to see K1, amazing player. Yeah, I tip my hat to him. You know, G Fitch the same way. I wasn't in his era. I got to play with him a little bit as an older guy, so I got to see a glimpse of how he would have been at full capacity prime. So I would say those guys are what top two leading scorer in the West Side history, and I think I'm maybe three, maybe or four or whatever. But I would say those guys. Yeah, those guys got it. As far as the ones and two, I think they should be debating on who's the best between those one and two. I don't think I'm in that conversation of who's the best of that. But like I said, everyone has their purpose, and I know mine now, and it's not to be known as a basketball player when I'm in my gravestone. It is to be known as a person that uh, observed the world, uh, looked at the socialization of people in the world, and helped them gain a consciousness that so that they're liberated, and that they can act to be liberated.
I want to go off topic a little bit. Just check out this Brandon James story. I know you've been watching him as a player. He's a very humble kid. I've been watching him myself, and he was taking his dad footsteps. And I seen one in his interview. He said, "I want to be represented as my dad's son. I don't want to be LeBron James' son. I want to be Brandon. I want to have my own plans. I don't want people to think, oh, I came to leave because of my dad. I was drafted because of my dad." He's a very humble kid. How do you think the society is about that situation? And oh, they just trying to say, oh, he's not gonna make it too far. He's averaging 6 points a game and all that situation. No, it's not about scoring. It's about different things, the aspect of basketball. He brings a lot to the table as a player. Give me your breakdown on Brandon James as a basketball player. He was drafted in the NBA.
Yeah, from what I can see, very humble, very grateful kid. However, I feel like his criticism is a reflection of all of what I just discussed today. His criticism is a reflection of the sickness that we have to be healed from internally, of uh, wanting to tear down someone that looks uh, just like you, whether they came from the same condition or were born in a better condition than you, they are still part of your community. And I think that's unfair to criticize, or not unfair, unhealthy, and uh, self-destructive, and it is the reason, and it reinforces the treatment of us. So, with us always wanting to publicly uh, tear down one of our own, I feel that only reinforces the disrespect of other people to us. So we want to get mad at the big issues, the genocide, the police genocides, and the disrespect that people have of us, uh, and the condemnation of people uh, towards us. However, I feel like that's my point now, to make us realize that this is the reason why, and we have to fix this. Because when we fix this, now we become not a threat, but we become someone of respect that's demanding. Because now we are uh, displaying unity, and unity always makes people say, "Oh, okay, they're serious. We can't exploit these people anymore. Uh, we can't beat on them no more because they don't beat on themselves no more, and they ain't taking that no more." So I think he's a perfect example, and his criticism is a perfect example of what I've been talking about today.
Okay. And do you have any upcoming projects you want to let us know about that you got upcoming or any things you got planned that we need to know about coming up?
Yeah, so like you said earlier, I got a book, my second book. It's going to come out around my birthday next year in January. Also, the digital newspaper that I've been writing is still going to continue monthly, maybe one, two, however many editions monthly. And most of my projects are gonna be always gonna be free of charge. I had to fight with myself just to even monetize this book. I was literally gonna publish it on Amazon and then buy mass copies and hand them out for free because I didn't. I don't want people to feel like this is monetary. See, that's why I think we have been also fooled. We playing into that capital, the hand of capitalism, the exploitation. So capitalism exploits you for a lifetime and then teaches you how to exploit others. But for me, I'm just not that type of guy. So, you know, obviously I had to put it on there and have some talks with some people. They said they want to be the best financial decision, and I understand that capitalist perspective. But you know, all of my projects are gonna be very little. Have very little monetary gain as far as in the intent behind it. They're always gonna be earnest and sincere in their nature. But yeah, I have got another book and really trying to get this organization off the ground. So anyone that is interested, uh you can DM me out or email me, anything like that, and I'll get back with you because I'm really interested to hear what other conscious brothers and sisters got to say, or unconscious brothers and sisters, to see them, come to a level of consciousness.
And like you said, if y'all do want to get a copy of I'm Not Your Doctor by Kowacie Reeves Jr., make sure you go on Amazon, man, and get your copy. It's a great book. I sat down and read it myself, and it really moves you, man. Make sure you get a copy of this book, man. Stay tuned for the book that's coming out in January. And I do want to let y'all know we is working on a speech. He's going to be sitting down with a group of people, having a talk, having a conversation, a deep dive into today's world and society. So make sure y'all stay tuned with that, man. If y'all want to get connected with Mr. Reed, man, I'm going to be putting Instagram on the screen. So if y'all want to join the organization, take a change in the world, man, and get a deep dive into yourself as a human being, make sure you hit him up, man. He's a real nice humble guy, man. You got anything else to say to the people, man?
No, sir. Thank you.
I thank you for having me, Mr. Reed. I really appreciate you for allowing me to take a deep dive into your thoughts and get your thoughts on things. And, can't wait for the season to come. Also, make sure y'all come check him out in 2024-2025 on Georgia Tech basketball season. It is coming very, very quick. He's a real good basketball player, man. Make sure y'all get your tickets. Come and check the guy out, man. Come and check him out, man. Kowacie Reed Jr., thank you so much.
Yo, thank you, brother. Yes, sir.